The idea behind our tagline is there's a bit of a story to it. Each one has their own interpretation of who they are and how they are. And during the course of time, they learn to live in that community, belongs to a particular caste or system, let alone the argument that caste shouldn't be in existence at all. But now we can't eliminate that, that's still prevalent. Why should he be embarrassed about it?
So you can't go to a Dalit or a scheduled caste person and ask him to use his surname.
Identity is everything is majorly addressed to those people who try to oppress. As I mentioned now that I was made fun of because of my skin tone, like Blackie, Kaka and all that. You can wear a brown t-shirt. Everyone wears a brown t-shirt. So like, let's put the Pantone chip on it and that says Tamil Brown on it. Sengandal Poo I took because, so I asked him how is the reaction, are people really buying in on the concept of summer t-shirts?
Series of podcasts. This is going to be called Identity is Everything, because that has been our tagline and design inspiration for a few of our designs, recent designs. So we thought that would only be fitting to name this podcast as Identity is Everything.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Why did we come up with that tagline called Identity is Everything? What is the idea behind that tagline?
Okay. The idea behind our tagline is there's a bit of a story to it. Identity is something that defines everyone, right? So we don't pay major attention to it, but it is a major part of us.
Okay.
We don't specifically focus on it. Probably we don't know that this is what identifies us as. But when it comes to the design that we've been doing, since we've been running a brand which has Tamil in it, which Tamil in itself is an identity for us, for people in Tamil Nadu. And then comes everything else. Because the language, the culture that came around the language is what defined that. The everyday life, how we behave with each other. We define ourselves as Tamil. ஒரு தமிழனா இருந்தா இப்படி இருப்பான், தமிழன்றவன் இப்படி பண்ண மாட்டான். So that is what defined us. So it was more about the language we spoke that made us collectively come together. So, but then in other terms, you have a personality to everyone. So you can't expect everyone to react in the same way. We can accept that we are Tamilans, but I'm not going to. We can accept Yadav Mure Yavarum Keli, but I'm not going to react in the same way that you expect me to do, and that causes some difference. But that is what defines me, and that is what defines you, right? So this was the base of what Identity is Everything series was like. No matter what a city or a language or a group of people define the identity, each one has their own interpretation of who they are and how they are, and during the course of time they learn to live in that community by experiences and all that. So that is what defines you as a person. So that is the basic idea of Identity is Everything. There are fragments of what you are that defines you from inside. That is that.
So I had an interaction with a customer, and surprisingly, he told me that he was a fan of that Sengandal Poo, the design that we did. That was our apparently the second Identity is Everything. But the first design, which literally had Identity is Everything on the t-shirt. Namniram did not have that tagline on the t-shirt. Yeah. So he told me that he liked the Sengandal Poo design, but he was hesitant of buying it because he thought Identity is Everything tagline was a negative thing, in the sense that for people who, there are parts of the societies, categories of the society, where people want to get out of certain identities that suppress them
Hmm.
in general. Yeah, so he was like, there, I am from that sect of the society where I don't want my identity to define me. I want to get rid of that identity.
Hmm.
And he was like, what is the reason behind you guys calling the identity
Hmm.
is like, what is the reason behind using the tagline identity is everything? So I told him that this tagline meant that you will not have to forget where you come from. You'll have
Hmm.
to remember your roots.
Hmm.
You will have everyone in this world will have a starting point. So I told him that forgetting that starting point or your roots will not define you. I mean, that is what defines you completely as a man. Even if you're in a oppressed society, you're a part of that.
Hmm.
Um, that is what, in the end of the day, is going to define you. That is what is going to make you what you are. That is
As
going
an
to,
individual.
yeah, that is going to build your character.
Yeah.
That will play a major part in how you are shaping your life or yourself.
And how you're becoming part of the society.
Yeah. So I told him that. I did not know if he was convinced completely, but he accepted my point of view.
Okay.
And then he ended up purchasing that T-shirt.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, that is what you guys mean." I thought it's like I did not think about the tagline that way.
Hmm.
I thought I was always a part of that oppressed society.
Okay.
And I always he was what, 25, 26
Okay.
years old. So he always wanted to get out of that kind of bubble that he was in,
Okay.
because uh, in our society people are labeled according to their caste or
Yeah.
their status,
Yeah.
financially or even societally.
Understood.
So he wanted to get rid of that label, and he wanted to come out of whatever people have been calling him or his clan.
Okay.
So
So
surprisingly, I learned that our tagline did not mean the same to everyone.
probably we haven't put it out in the right way,
Hmm.
because we obviously did not mean what he thought it was. That is what I'm saying. The clash of ideas and all that. That is what defined him. That is what defined. This is what defined us.
Mhm.
So now we had a healthy discussion. We had a healthy discussion, and that's come to a middle ground, and both the parties have accepted. So this is what I say when we live in harmony with community. So even though you have differences in your characteristic behavior or your thought process, so this is what defines you as a person. You can be aggressive, but that is not going to play. That is not going to make you a part of the society in a very comfortable way.
Mhm.
So these are all the characteristics that that generally lays inside you. It is the most bottommost part of your uh, level of character building,
Mhm.
the basic emotions. So these emotions should be healthy for you to feel healthy. So that is how you're going to emote to the other person. You feel healthy, you're going to talk to them in a healthier way. They're going to respond to you in a healthier way. So this is the ultimate aim of what identity is everything is about.
Mhm.
And for what he was saying was, what he said is, it was something that was a part of the patriarchal society, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
No, not patriarch. He had that caste hierarchical
Okay, yeah,
system in mind. That is what he meant,
okay.
I think.
I guess so, yeah. The point here is, I don't understand why he felt embarrassed, or he didn't want to be a part of that identity, because there is no mistake of his there. If he
Yeah.
belongs to a particular caste or system, let alone the argument that caste shouldn't be in existence at all. But Now we can't eliminate that, that's still prevalent. Why should he be embarrassed about it is the question.
I
So which is not his mistake. He was born into this particular community. The way the other people belonging to other castes, or whatever he's seen or whatever he's experienced, they are the ones to be blamed, not him. So there is no reason for him to feel oppressed.
Yeah, but I think what he meant was, see, we have gotten rid of using our caste name as surname, some 70 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can't go to someone, I don't know if I should how to frame this. So you can't go to a Dalit or a scheduled caste person and ask him to use his surname and tell him that it's okay, you don't have to be ashamed of it, you can use your surname, it's not your mistake. You can't tell him that.
I can't tell him that, but ultimately it is not his problem. It is the people who do that are the problem. You can still be this and still raise your voice, but again, that is not, I don't know what, like how you're saying, I don't know how that is going to be healthy. You feeling oppressed and then you're going to raise your voice, and then they're going to it's going to hurt their ego, they're going to get back to you at something. So this is a bit of a gray area of how to deal.
That is a valid point where you say that you don't have to be ashamed of your roots. Even if you've been oppressed for centuries, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And that is your identity. You don't have to get rid of it, is what you're saying.
It is not your mistake. It is the person who's trying to do whatever it is. It is them who's at fault.
So
this identity is everything is majorly addressed to those people who try to oppress others. Because it is because of the caste system that you behave like this. But otherwise, as a person, if there is no existence of caste, would you be the same? So that is what defines you as a person. The caste doesn't define you as a person. It is I don't know what the feeling or the emotion that is attached to the caste system.
I have my reasons to connect with this tagline, identity is everything. Because I have had people, in fact my relatives, who were not so proud of speaking in Tamil.
Okay.
And kind of they avoided, or they...
Where did they belong to? I mean, where were they born and bred?
They were born and brought up in Bangalore. Now that I've said it, they'll know who they are. So that is my childhood kind of a core memory, where I've had my relatives, my cousins, not kind of shy away from speaking in Tamil or anything that had to do with Tamil.
Okay.
Be it the movie, the pop culture side of Tamil, the language, or the traditional side of the language, or whatever. Because for us, everything evolves from the language, right?
Yeah.
I think Tamil is the root.
We connect with each other because we speak the same language.
Because we speak the same language. I don't know why it's not the same with other languages, or is it the same? I'm not really sure.
Because I'm pretty sure it's the same in Kannada as well. They have a sense of connectivity when they speak in Kannada with each other.
I don't think so, but yeah, maybe off late they've developed that sense of connectivity because of the migration issues and all that. I'm not really sure, because even in South Indian states, we have been against Hindi imposition for a long time. People, I have known Telugu people who have said themselves that we are not as connected or as attached to the language as you guys are.
Okay.
I have known Malayalis saying the same thing. Okay. But I have noticed a lot of Malayali people typing in Malayalam, Malayalam font, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which we don't do a lot. We type in Tanglish.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah?
Not necessarily. You go to a lot of posts, you see a lot of people typing in Tamil script.
Okay, but I've noticed, me personally, I've noticed a lot of Malayalis.
That is very common for all languages, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen posts on Kannada, I've seen posts on Telugu. You go to Instagram, you come across a lot of Telugu posts. You have people, Tamil and English is Tanglish. I don't know what Telugu and English is.
Uh,
You see people doing that, typing. They type Telugu in English. Same with Malayalam as well.
okay.
I think that is common for everyone
Uh,
around.
okay. So coming back to my point, that I have my core memories from childhood have been people ignoring Tamil.
Mhm.
Okay, they were not uh, brought up in Tamil Nadu,
Okay.
but they were hardcore Tamils. That is, their parents are Tamils, their grandparents were Tamils.
Understood.
So, but they were brought up in Bangalore, and they had this. I don't know if it was not conscious decisions. I think it was some kind of culture, Bangalorean culture rubbing off or something like that.
Understood, yeah.
Could have been that. I don't know how they are now.
Okay.
I don't talk to them as much, or I don't hang out with them as much as I used to
Okay.
earlier. So that when you say identity is everything, my mind goes to that.
Your cousins.
My cousins who were like, they did not speak Kannada also very well. They did not. I don't know how much of Hindi they spoke. They spoke English.
Okay.
And they took pride in saying that they did not know Tamil.
Okay.
Or they did not know to speak Tamil or pronounce certain words.
Okay.
So they were like very proud. Say for example, Vazhaipalam. They couldn't say.
Okay.
They said Valapalam.
Okay. Okay.
They couldn't pronounce the ra. So they said Valapalam. And when people corrected them, or say, for example, people like me or my dad said, அது வாழைப்பழம் தம்பி அப்படின்னா, so they had that kind of taunt or mockery when it came to speaking Tamil.
I think this is one of those examples where I don't know what their story is. But there was a friend of mine who, after 10th, he was moving to Delhi. So he was like, I'm going to Delhi. I'm going to tell the friends or whatever the friends I make in school there. I'm going to tell them that I'm from Bangalore. I don't want to be that Madrasi. Probably, I don't know. That plays a very major reason. I thought he was kidding. Actually, when I called him up later, he did confirm that I have told people that I'm from Bangalore. So whenever I tell them that I'm going to my hometown, I tell them I go to Bangalore. I don't go to Chennai.
The same thing happened to me with my friend, one of my college friends, that is engineering undergraduate friends, told me specifically that when I told him that I'm going to go to NIFT for my PG, he told me, don't tell them that you're from Chennai, tell them that you're from Bangalore.
But Bombay is not a big problem actually in that way.
I didn't understand. I still don't understand what the problem was.
Okay.
For them, I don't think they'll differentiate between Bangalore. I don't think they have that capacity to differentiate between Bangalore and Chennai people.
It's just the understanding of Bangalore is a cool city. People there are cool, but in Chennai, people are very. I don't know. This comes back to the same on the skin tone.
Or is it because Chennai is perceived as a conservative city?
Conservative, yes, of course. We don't take efforts in dressing up.
Yeah.
We look to comfort, and our climate also doesn't expect us to wear layers of clothes.
Yeah, but
we would stick to a t-shirt and a pair of jeans any day, any given day. But apart from that, if you're working, you wear a shirt and a pant as a formal.
Yeah.
Having said that, neither do the women in our city also take effort. So generally we say that the women in Bangalore are pretty, girls in Bombay or Delhi are pretty. We've never heard anyone, we've lived in Bombay for 6-7 years. No one's told us that chicks in Chennai are cool or they look pretty or all that.
People have told me that Tamil chicks, I mean Tamil girls are good looking.
They haven't told me.
So yeah, this is what I found it surprisingly the complete opposite of what my friends suggested. Even the girls from Delhi who studied with me in my class
Okay.
at NIFT, they were like, they did not know the difference. I don't know if they know or knew, or they were like, they were generalizing. They were like, South Indian boys are way better than North Indian boys
In terms of
in terms of
overall
hanging out with them,
behavior.
and all that. That was their opinion, but I found a lot of my friends from Bihar and UP equally well behaved. And
As opposed to the general notion.
as opposed to the general notion, or as opposed to the opinion of the girls in my class. I'm sure they'll have a different point of view right now if they ask them now, because they would have evolved. But then maybe at the spurt of the moment, that's what they told me.
Okay.
Like, we are conservative. We are kind of
we are not very loud or boisterous people.
Yeah, and we
are very soft spoken generally. I don't think that's the same for North Indian guys or men. From what we've seen, predominantly guys are very loud there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, he's from Delhi." He's
Delhi
from
or Punjab.
Punjab
they're the
or
loudest.
Haryana, or it was easy. They addressed their caste
Okay.
in a way that we won't, or we will never.
Exactly. Yeah.
For example, he's a Gujjar. He'd be like that. He's a Jhat.
He's a Baniya. That is how they are. With
They
money.
are.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
So that was a very normal thing for them to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same now, because it's been almost 10
It's still the same. I
12
see
years.
on Shark Tank and they say, I am from a Marwadi family or a Baniya family, and the shark's sitting there like, no wonder you're good with money.
I think even us, we think things like that. I mean, we relate a person's attribute or characteristic trait with caste, but we don't say it out loud.
I guess so, yeah. To an extent, we do.
In our minds, because that is the trace of our parental or the grandparental.
Because that kind of
way of
even though
thinking.
they've eliminated caste from the name, the behavior sticks on a bit. Though people have taken a lot of efforts to change in the way they behaved previously when they belonged to a particular caste, and when they dropped the caste from their family name, still some sort of behavior or some sort of talks would still go on, which is what we've noticed. So I guess we have that inside. We can't obviously. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, but we are aware enough to not speak about it, right? You don't really, at least now in the past decade.
Yeah.
You don't say that a certain a person of certain caste will behave this way.
Yeah.
We don't do that in Tamil Nadu anymore.
We don't do that openly.
Yeah.
But everyone's got the notion
of
how a person from this caste is going to be, what we can expect from them. So that becomes a general notion once.
Yeah. So exactly. So this is a form of identity, right?
Yeah.
You relate a certain characteristic trait or attribute with a caste,
a group of people.
So when our customer told that I don't want my identity to define me, this is what I think he meant. That you don't take a person's character and connect it with this caste and then come to a conclusion that this caste person will behave like this.
Exactly.
Is what he meant.
Yeah.
And I understood that. And I told him that no, that is not what we want to establish. We want to say that you have a root. You have your innate things. You should be proud of your culture, your
Yeah,
tradition.
the culture also forms from the landscape that you come from also, because you live in this particular region, you tend to do these kind of jobs,
uh,
right? So that becomes your lifestyle as well. So
Lifestyle.
like we are predominantly farmers in Tamil Nadu, so in the subcontinent region.
Mm.
So our life revolves around waking up early in the morning,
Mm.
then going into farming, doing agriculture, and then we come back
Come back
before sunset, and then whatever it is, we go to sleep early.
early.
And then similarly, because of this lifestyle and everything, we had a particular set of
Norms.
food.
Oh, food.
Yeah,
Food habits.
food habits.
Okay.
We ate these because we were going to do this for today, so this is what is going to help us best, and this is the best that is available in our region.
Mm.
And this is going to, I buy this from him, this is going to be within the community itself, we don't have to go outside.
Mhm.
And apart from this, the major connecting factor, the comfort factor, is obviously the language.
Mm.
We emote in a particular language. If they are going to emote in the same particular language, we are going to have a sense of understanding and ease in communication. So all these things, knowingly or unknowingly, form a group. But this part of group is not going to affect you in the sense of who's better or not, let alone the fact that money plays a different role. Caste is not relevant here. So this is what I was trying to tell you. Like, groups are always going to be there. We cannot deny that. But then when you live in a group, you have to make sure that you live in harmony. And when you are exposed to another particular group, you can't be racist or whatever it is to them, because
Mm.
what if they are the same to you? Are you going to accept it? No, right? Because their lifestyle is very different. You are going to ridicule or mock them because of the lifestyle difference in what you have.
Mm.
So this basic emotion, this basic feeling, is what should be predominantly put into use,
Mm.
rather than building the superficial layer of who's better for everything. You obviously have a lot of money, you can pull a lot of string, you are going to feel very big, and that itself is a kind of a, I don't know, that's some sort of an ego. I don't know how it feels to be there. But then predominantly not everyone is rich. Everyone's normal middle class people, so we understand each other. So why do we have to have this feeling of I am better than you, you're better than me? I had this feeling of this skin tone mockery since I was a kid, like school, right from school. After going to Bombay also, it was the same. So I understood that no matter what, this is going to be there for me.
Mm.
So it never really bothered me. I was like, okay, fine, because every group of friends, every bunch of friends has that one dark skinned guy, one fat guy,
Fat guy. One short guy.
one short guy. Yeah, obviously you would have one short guy, one psycho guy. So I thought I was that guy who's the dark guy of the group, and all the more reason for me to believe it, because I was in North India, in Bombay. And here I had Hindi as my second language. So which means that we had a lot of non-Tamilians in the class.
Okay.
So my friends were a lot of Hyderabadis or Bangaloreans who migrated to Chennai a generation or two generations ago. So they were all very fair and all that. So I was the darkest. I was the only dark guy, and I was supposed to be the darkest in my class also. Because you find the other sections, there will be a lot of dark skinned fellows. There are guys who are darker than me. But then I studied in a Hindi section, so I was the darkest in my class, because I was that proper Tamil looking guy. People, I had Malayali friends and all. They're like, you look like a Tamilian. I never understood that at that moment. I was like, what do you mean? We all live in Tamil Nadu, so we're all Tamilians. Right? He was like, no, I'm a Malayali. I'm like, how does that make a difference? Like, you live in Tamil. I didn't understand the genetical.
Okay.
He was an outsider to Chennai, because he spoke Malayalam at home. He spoke Malayalam to his relatives. He spoke Malayalam wherever he could, as a true Malayali. But I never understood. I understood this when I went to Bombay. So I looked for chances to speak to people in Tamil. So whenever I found some random guy talking on the phone in Tamil, I used to feel excited.
Mm.
Okay, fine. I think I can talk to him. Though that's a very weird thing to do.
No, that's what even Malayalis they make fun of themselves when
But
they
then they
say
have that mutual connection, Malayalis.
like what.
Well,
Even we have the
no,
mutual
not necessarily.
because they go to any Malayali and say Natilavada
Not,
and
I don't think we do that. Because I've experienced. They're like, okay, fine.
huh?
Tamil, okay, you're from Chennai, all right, fine.
Okay. I and yeah,
Or probably because they've been in Bombay for the longest, so they don't care about what's happening in Chennai or Tamil Nadu. And they don't.
and in our cases, when you go to people from other parts of Tamil Nadu and tell them that we are from Chennai, even then we get weird looks.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't understand that at all. I thought I thought it's because before moving to Bombay, leave alone the fact that I have not been in association with North Indians that much or
Okay.
people from other parts of India.
Okay.
Being in Chennai, I have not had the chance to mingle with people from other parts of Tamil Nadu also.
Okay. Obviously.
Um, uh, I had few classmates when I was doing my engineering. I had few classmates from Tiruvallur districts like Tiruvallur,
Okay.
Ulundurpet, Udumalapet, and all. I
Okay.
mean
Okay.
Ulundurpet. I think
Okay.
that's the nearest. Only North Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Okay.
There were no one from down south, as in
Madurai.
Madurai or Toothukudi, Tirunelveli, Kongu Nadu, as they
Okay.
say. Or I didn't know the term Kongu Nadu. Only after I started Angi, I was like, oh, okay, there's this thing going on, even politically down south.
The Salem Coimbatore belt.
Belt, Karur, Dindukal, and all
Yeah.
that.
So
So for you, what has been, see, for me, I told you the core memory of identity is everything is obviously my cousins not taking to the
Okay.
identity of Tamil, being Tamil and all that. What has your core memory been? Is that what you mentioned now? That
mine is the skin tone story. So like as I had mentioned now that I was made fun of because of my skin tone, like Blackie, Kaka, and all that, all those names. We go to Bombay, all that changed to Hindi, Kalwa, Koile, and all that. So the same happened to my brother as well. I have never heard from my brother, but it was my father who told me, father or my mother. They told me that he didn't take it the way you took it. He feels very bad. He feels very insecure. That kind of affected him a lot when he was in college. He felt very, what do you call that?
inferiority complex.
Complex, yeah, exactly. Inferiority complex. He had that. So when he came back, so he had to come back home to Chennai. The point is, he never.
Oh, he came back because of that?
No, he finished his college and he came back. But he never really enjoyed staying in Chennai also.
Oh.
He's never liked it.
Because of?
I don't know. I've never had that conversation with him. Well, so when he went to Pune to study there, and again he was made fun of, so he came back home, and then the reason was like, okay, fine. When my mother told me how he felt, so I understood. Okay, there's that side to that story also. So, so that was the reason for me to come up with the Namniram design. Like, there's nothing to be proud of it. I see a lot of posts, a lot of that we see a lot of things saying that being brown is sexy, being brown is great, be proud, being dark skinned is proud. And like, there's nothing to be proud of, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a normal thing. So that is what I wanted to do with Namniram.
Okay.
You don't take it to both extremes because there is no reason for you to take it to both extremes. This is how you are born as. This is how it is going to be for the rest of your lives, which is normal. You have to accept it. People around you are going to accept it. So you just because you're being ridiculed doesn't mean that you have to glorify it. You again take two polar extremes. They're never going to come into an agreement. It is always going to be there as it is. So I thought I'll like uh, bring it out and then say it like, it is a very normal thing. You can wear a brown t-shirt. Everyone wears a brown t-shirt. So I like, let's put the Pantone chip on it and that says Tamil Brown on it.
Mm.
So for people who made fun of it, they would probably look at it and they'll be like, why is this even coming out? Why is this even on a t-shirt? I mean, what is so great about it? People who are going to buy it are going to feel a bit comfortable
Mm.
wearing it. Okay, fine, this is normal. I mean, something that was made fun of. So people don't even think about this in fashion or clothing, but this is there as a product.
Mm.
So now that the product is out there, so I had to make my statement saying that I'm not glorifying it, I'm normalizing it.
Mm.
Because there are people who are degrading it, there are people who are fighting against it to make it feel very glorious. I'm not doing that. I'm going to make it feel very normal. So that was the whole purpose of it, and that skin tone being your identity, the whole identity series was kicked off from that design. So subsequently, then I moved on to what I thought could probably be another series of identities. Everything was, I wanted to do t-shirts in every color,
Mm.
because pink color t-shirt is always not fancied by men, or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, even if they want to wear it, they would always have this feeling of doubt that why, if I buy it, am I going to be made fun of,
Mm. Mm.
or is my wife going to accept, or my girlfriend or my mother or whatever it is. You may like the color, that is different, but there is this thing that you will not like this color if you are a man.
Mm.
Like, it's fine, it's a normal thing. You can wear pink, you can wear yellow, light yellow, you can wear pastel tones, not a problem. So I wanted to do a series on that as well. But then I thought that is going to take the same concept and keep repeating it on and on, and it's going to be very stupid and boring. So I thought I'll use the same pastel tone, which was what the off white color, and I used the flower, the Sengandal poo,
Mm. Mm.
which we were talking about. Sengandal poo I took because it was the state flower of Tamil Nadu, and also when I did some research on what flowers I could do, I was thinking of doing Kurunji poo. Now that I had a list of names of flowers, and then I noticed that Kartigai poo is also used by Elam
Mm.
Tamilians
Mm.
as a to mark their Mavirar Nal, which is the Warriors' Day, right?
Mm.
As in, they used it to use it as a remembrance for the genocide that the Tamilians went through. So I thought, okay, fine. So this is an identity that talks about two different clans of Tamil people alone.
Mm. Mm.
There's only one thing, but one is a state flower, which is not very aggressive. It is an existence. Here, it means a whole lot of.
Mm.
It's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
new and a very different take on the same thing. So I thought this is very interesting, or people who want to perceive this as this, they can accept this, and people who see this as their identity, they can perceive that as well. So it sat well with the entire Tamil crowd around the world.
Mm. Mm.
So I did that.
But also, I just wanted to go back to a point that you said. It is funny when you say you want to normalize the brown
Hmm.
and not use the word. What did you say? You didn't want to
Glorified.
glorify it, or but when you put it on a T-shirt,
Hmm.
doesn't it automatically glorify? Because when the purpose of a T-shirt or a slogan T-shirt or whatever, when they came up with Hindi Teriyadu Poda, or when we came up with the
Yeah.
Jallikattu design, was to glorify um, the Jallikattu
But then that was
protest
in a
or
very aggressive way. Hindi Teriyadu Poda. It was glorifying because it was aggressive. This is not going to fall under the concept of glorifying because it is not aggressive.
okay. But
And you not people who the t-shirt color was the color of the skin tone between me and my brother.
mm,
So not necessarily everyone who had the exact same skin tone bought it. No, we had fair people buy it, we had dark people also buy it. So which means that people are normalizing it. So that is what I wanted to achieve.
Okay.
Say for example, uh, if I had created 2-3 tones of brown, that would have created a sort of confusion for the people who are going to buy. They're going to ask a lot of questions. We need to have an elaborate plan to do that.
Mm.
I was like, let's do one.
Mm.
So the thing is, people wouldn't have seen something like that
Mm.
in India or whatever it is. And
Mm.
so people who make fun of dark skin, they're going to look at it and they're like, that is what I'm saying. They're going to look at it and they'll be like, wow, what is this? Why is this?
Mm.
So
So you're kind of trying to create awareness amongst the ignorant
yeah,
instead of
awareness.
glorifying.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So people who bought it felt like, okay, fine, something that is there that speaks, and I stopped it at that. I didn't take it. I didn't stretch it even more.
Mhm. And also, then you had this kind of ideas of coming up with different designs with the same tagline that identity is everything. You kind of had that breakout of thoughts, and then you used a lot of animals,
Animals and birds.
in birds, insects,
Yeah.
or
So
the entire flora and fauna.
yeah. So as we grow up, we have a lot of sayings that has animals in it, like be as shrewd as a fox,
Huh.
be as loyal as a dog.
Mm.
We say all that, right?
Mm.
So the point being that we have to take the good characteristics from these living beings around. These are the
Prominent attributes.
prominent attributes that could help us become a better person.
Mm.
We if you compare two human beings, they're going to say like, why do you have to compare me with them or whatever it is?
Yeah,
My life is not the same as theirs. He has this, he has that. Okay, fine, take a dog.
Mm.
Dog has a very bad lifestyle than what you have.
Mm.
It still stays loyal.
Mm.
So why don't you do that? So I like that idea. Like you cannot argue now.
Mm.
You can't say a dog is this, dog is that. I'm not like a dog. But at the end of the day,
Dog is
you
loyal.
hit the dog, you do whatever it is. But if you've been serving food to the dog, if you've been taking proper care, it is going to come back to you no matter what.
Mm.
And that is what loyalty is. And that, after a point, makes you also feel very guilty and bad,
Mm.
because you feel that the dog has given me so much. I
Mm.
can't be like this to the dog.
Mm.
Let alone I've just given food to it.
Mm.
That is all I did. I did not do anything else. And that is all it mattered to the dog.
Mm.
You just had to show some care and affection. So similarly, this is for a dog, but otherwise you have other animals. For a cat, they say that you have to, feel like they say a cat feels like a queen.
Mm. Mm.
That in a way also can be taken. I did not do that because I felt that it is very
Pompous,
pompous,
pretentious.
selfish, and pretentious.
Uh,
So I thought I'll use a couple of eagles,
mm.
because eagles are always known to be lone warriors.
Mm.
You never find them in groups
Mm.
or in flocks.
Mm.
So the eagle had a very interesting character as to like there's a lot of story that the more the other birds try to fly among where the eagle is, the eagle tries to go
Soar even further.
higher.
Mm.
So that is what I wanted to say, that though it was all alone, you have to becoming fearless was the bottom line written on the t-shirt that had eagle in it.
Mm.
So it didn't care. It knew
It was sure of itself.
the
in a
eagle
way.
knows that it is the battle within yourself. You have to do it all by yourself.
I think it's the apex predator when it comes to the
exactly.
birds.
Yeah. So it flies at this level of altitude. It sees a bunch of a flock of birds flying at the same altitude. It's going to go a bit higher,
Mm.
because I don't know what it feels or whatever it is, but I like that attitude.
Mm.
So I thought I'll use that as well.
Mm.
Then we had this butterfly design as well.
Mm.
Butterfly always denotes beauty.
Mm.
It always did.
Mm.
So I like that idea.
And it attracts people want to catch a
Catch a
butterfly.
butterfly. Catch a butterfly
But
is kind of a hobby when you go on picnics.
yeah,
At least that is what we learned growing up reading
that's what we
stories.
teach children also.
Yeah.
பட்டாம்பூச்சி புடி அங்க பாரு அங்க பாரு.
So I like the dual life of a butterfly. The butterfly that it is today was a caterpillar
Before.
before. So I like, but yet we choose to talk about butterfly only. But when it came to design on the t-shirt, I had a cocoon or a caterpillar. It just did not sit well.
Okay, let's just face it. It's better looking. The
Yeah,
butterfly
so I
is
had to
better
stick to the
looking.
obvious.
Uh,
And plus, butterfly designs were trending a lot at that moment as well. So I thought, I think it's safe to stick to butterfly. So I think I did a couple of designs. One we had.
one is due to
One
come.
is underway. So I think butterfly. They say there is a characteristic of butterfly that it's very optimistic. I don't know why. The reasons were very vague. Dog I could connect because you could feel its loyalty. Butterfly I couldn't feel the optimism. The eagle also you can understand because you've seen it. But the butterfly I did not understand. But then there are a lot of people who think that you know they take butterfly as a spirit animal or something.
Okay.
So like, okay, fine. We'll move ahead with that. I wanted to do tiger, but tiger was very overdone over the years. Because tiger is also a lone warrior.
But I think tiger would make a good design.
Tiger would actually make a good design. I just want to do it in a very different way. I don't want to end up doing like another
A cliched
print.
Tiger print. Okay, right. And then we had this mask which said concocting identity.
That was basically that was my personal brand called LabVat.
You wanted that as a logo for your personal brand.
Yeah. So LabVat was basically I thought that identity is everything sat well there, because it rhymes to LabVat. So I thought like lab rats are made in laboratories. They are in a very constructed environment that is not naturally theirs. They are made to do things which they don't naturally do. They think that is their world, which is not theirs. You are constructed in a lab. You are an experiment. You have no free will there. So I thought this is how we are also probably living in the society. So that was a very rebellious take on identities, everything. It was like I can be anything I want, no matter what. So that was what it was.
It was kind of a juxtaposition where you said identity is everything, and then you put this mask
saying identity is not necessarily everything. There is a very, very extremely different take on what identity is everything. It was extremely rebellious, and I couldn't come to a proper conclusion to it.
Sometimes it's like the design works and you don't really have to have a philosophy behind it, or you don't really have to justify with the tagline, because the design
is visually appealing.
Is appealing, and it worked. So
yeah, that is there, but then that is not going to that is not going to make people buy all the time. They have to have some connect with the design or the brand for them to feel connected and stay connected. So that is why the designs that we also do right now is visually appealing is important. No matter what story you have to the design or the brand, you have to make designs that are striking to people. So that is going to be there. Apart from that, what is going to make people feel connected is the story that we have. And that is why the brand that we brought out, because it was the story that made us bring the brand out. Otherwise, I don't think we would have even thought about it.
And by the way, we did not address the fact that we've started doing English designs. We've jumped from Tamil to English in one season.
Yeah.
And even our people, the wholesalers, the stores that we supply to, they were surprised. So were a lot of regular customers at the book fair as well.
I recently visited one of the stores to deliver our goods. So I was like, how is it going? What are people reacting to Tamil t-shirts in your store? They're like, people keep talking about the glorious nature of Tamil language and all. So I asked him how is the reaction? Are people really buying in on the concept of summer t-shirts and all that? Now people really liking it because we take a lot of effort in doing the designs and getting the garment done. They're like, no, not really. People talk about Tamil and me being a Tamil and all that. They do all that, but they're not going to buy.
Mm.
They just speak about it, but they don't do anything about it.
Oh.
Then I realized, okay, fine. It's not necessary that, because Tamil is something they can be vocal about.
Mm.
It's not necessary that they have to wear a t-shirt.
Mm.
The reason we make designs that are appealing is for them to, even if they don't feel that they have to wear Tamil because they're Tamil, they can at least wear it for the idea that it looks good.
Mm.
So that was when we thought that we could also come up with an English brand,
Mm.
because we have to make good designs in order to sell. So it's not going to restrict in Tamil alone. So we have Angi for Tamil, and we have identity is everything that is not going to cater to the Tamil audience alone.
Mm.
It has a wider audience base, and it has a story to it.
And I also think that the feeling of the Tamilness, or the connect towards the Tamil language, be it its literature or its tradition, uh, comes up only when you are at a certain age. Say, if you ask me about the demographic of Angi's customers, I'd say it's 2024
Okay.
and above.
Okay.
So in order to for a business to be functional and have that financial support,
Okay.
we'll have to cater to all kinds of demography.
Okay.
So for me as a business person, I thought the 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they did not give a damn about Tamil t-shirts.
Yeah, they have different reasons to think about.
Yeah. And for that reason, I thought we'll have to come up with a different brand,
Okay.
a sub brand.
Okay.
And not everyone will buy into your thought process or your philosophy.
Understood. Yeah.
You have certain point of view. You come up with products that kind of justify that point of view.
Exactly.
But not everyone stands with you, right? And as a business, you will have to cater to everyone that is willing to buy your product or can afford your product.
Right.
So for me as a business person, it made sense to come up with a sub brand that had English,
that cater to the bigger audience,
a larger audience, be it pan India, because the Indian economy is also
best economy
is growing, and there's a lot of streetwear brands that are coming up in Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore. And since we've been in this business for a long time, there's no reason not to do that. And that is justified. And coming up with a podcast in English is to kind of address,
because this is about identity is everything. It's not about Angi.
Okay.
When we do something that is related to Angi, we are obviously going to do it in Tamil.
And I think even if we are going to do a podcast related to Angi, we'll have to do we can do it in English, because we'll have to say, if it's about the Tamil language and the Tamil culture,
people who don't know Tamil
should also understand it.
Yeah, that is there.
Yeah. All right. Is there something else that that we missed out?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we've addressed.
How's the production for the upcoming designs?
So I think we were in the identity series itself, we've planned say around 6 to 8 designs every month.
Yeah.
So I think we good to go for April. Till April, I think we have designs.
Okay.
We just have certain production hassles and print hassles
Okay.
that we'll have to sort. We have products in pipeline in production till April.
Which is the most, which design are you looking forward
I'm
most?
looking forward to the acid wash angel prints.
Okay, okay,
I think it's going to be a hit
okay.
if we get the output that we want.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward. So basically, just to sum up, we have come up with a sub brand called Identity. Identity is everything. It's
Identity
Identity is
clothing.
the brand's name, and the tagline is going to be Identity is everything, and it's going to be a complete streetwear brand catering to the pan Indian audience. And this podcast series is going to continue. We are looking to do at least a couple of episodes every month.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, a couple of episodes every month. If we start doing, if we keep doing that consistently, maybe we will increase the number of episodes eventually. So yeah, uh, thank you so much for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace out. Bye.